Just thought I'd try something different, go out for a walk and do the Q&A while I'm doing my walk. Kill two birds with one stone, be efficient, multitask, sure, call it whatever you want. This episode of Q&A is brought to us by Saifuldin Morale. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, I honestly am. Definitely terrible with names, but anyway, his question is, can you explain to us what is safety induction and orientation? And it's a good question. You know, really and truthfully, to understand it, you have to understand the definitions of both. So the definition of induction, this borrowed from the internet, of course, is the action or process of inducting someone to a position or organization. So sort of like inducting someone into the Hall of Fame. Orientation now is something totally different. It's the determination of the relative position of something or someone, especially oneself. By the definitions alone, these are two different things. Induction is to pretty much immerse someone into something. So say to induct them into your safety processes. Whereas an orientation, slightly different. It's to ensure that the person, regardless of where they are in the organization or where they are physically in the organization, they always have an awareness of your safety processes. So orientation and induction are really two different things. Now, the problem, though, is that many organizations treat them synonymously.
Where they mean the same thing?
In other words, both of them treat both terms as meaning the same. So with one organization, you may go through a safety induction, shall we say, where you are sat in front of a computer, do some computer-based training, watch some webinars, and possibly given some handouts, some paperwork, and then you're taken on a tour of the organization worksite and had a bunch of landmarks and important things pointed out to you. You go to another organization, you may undergo what's called an orientation, where you're given a handbook, maybe some additional paperwork, and told about a few key people in the organization.
But would it be enough?
The second one is really not a good practice. But a lot of times, those are what happens is those two terms are used and exchanged synonymously. Saifuldin, is there a difference? Totally dependent on your application of the terms. Now, here's a good idea for an application. If you were to consider a safety induction is something that's short term, maybe a quick introductory video and a short tour of just the limited space in the worksite that vendors, contractors, suppliers may be exposed to, and who their emergency contact might be. And you leave it at that. And you could call that a safety induction because you're immersing them or inducting them into your safety processes, but not meant to be this long-lasting thing. Now, you might take with your permanent employees and you might give them a much more robust process where you have maybe videos, webinars, PowerPoint presentation, and handouts, some computer-based training even maybe. And you might take and give that person a very good physical tour of your worksite, pointing out things like the first aid room, fire extinguishers, exit, muster areas, and maybe the first aid attendants, key members of the safety committee, telling them when safety meetings are, etc., and health and safety committee meetings are. And you might call that an orientation.
It's definitely an improvement.
I'll leave that with you guys. And hey, you want to know if you agree or disagree? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. The other thing, here's the question. Would you like to see a video on what a best practice health and safety orientation for new employees looks like and should look like?
Oh, yes, please.
If you do, let me know. Leave me a comment below. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, give me a like. Click that like button. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more health and safety videos, click that subscribe button. Ding the bell, you'll get notified when new content goes up on the channel. Now, as always, I always close with the same idea, that regardless of where you are or what you're doing, you should always try to be a leader. Don't just think about safety, don't just talk about safety, but be a safety influencer. Provoke safety wherever you are, okay? I'm gonna finish my walk, so take care. Bye for now.